Morning all, how you doing? It's Andy Cunningham, Syngenta trialist. You find me at the Doncaster Ryegrass Centre on the 21st of November, and it's been a season and a half, hasn't it? And in fact, at this site it's been 4, because since the 21st of September we've had 4 times the average rainfall at this site. We've had 290mm versus 70mm that should have been, and in fact we've had 5 times that since we actually put the crop in the ground. So you can imagine just how soggy this site is. We've all seen the news, you know, Doncaster's been hit pretty hard, but we've got a site up and running. It's obviously had to compromise somewhat. We had planned, ironically, to look at the effect of rainfall by adding moisture to the site, but obviously I've scrapped that, maybe look at that next year. And because we had planned to get it in back end of September, maybe at the latest first week in September, I was looking at early versus late drilling and the benefits of delayed drilling. Obviously that didn't happen either, so I've had to rearrange and, like I say, adapt, maybe the word, but anyway. So what have we got? Rather than saying what haven't we, what have we? We've got, unofficially, the largest herbicide screen in the UK. I'm looking at 9 different actives, and they're some of the familiar faces like prosulfocarb and pendimethalin and flufenicet, but also some new ones, ones I probably can't talk about on this video. So when you come and have a look at this site on the demo day, you can have a look yourself. We're looking at different rates and obviously how that, you know, does well with prosulfocarb. Being a Syngenta site, I'm obviously going to look at that. And last year we knew that the best treatment was Liberator, which is flufenicet and DFF, 0.6 litres per hectare plus Defy at 5 litres. And that was the best treatment by far. Now, obviously I'm looking at that again. I'm obviously looking at Defy on its own as well, which is a lot of people were asking on the day as well. So that's what we've got there. We're also looking at herbicide stickers. Some of you may use them, some of you may not know about them. Apparently they're meant to keep the herbicide in the zone where you want it, for longer. So making your herbicides work harder for your money. So we'll see as to whether or not there's anything in that. We are looking at the crop safety of products, more specifically prosulfocarb and pendimethalin, at the higher rates versus lower rates. Is there any crop issues, especially with a compromised seedbed like we've got at the minute? What effect do them higher rates have? So we're looking at that. We're also looking at timing of your pre-emergence and also your post-emergence herbicides. When should you put them on? Is it better to get it on straight after drilling or leave it a little bit later, so then maybe towards the back end when you're getting the ryegrass come through but the crop's not quite through, can you put pre-emergence on and also add a bit of glyphosate as well to give, you know, take that initial flush out? So that'll be interesting to look at. We're also looking at hard water issues. Obviously it's best case to get a sterile seedbed. By that you know, before you drill, you glyphosate off generally. With hard water though, you can lock up some of that active, and using water softeners is quite important. So it's, you know, I'll be using some water taken from Cambridge, which is known to be hard, and then seeing the benefits of using a water softener. Now, something different that we're doing at this site, we do it down at our Barton site, the blackgrass one, is cultivation techniques and how we get the crop in the ground initially. So we're looking at conventional seed beds, using ploughing, power harrowing and putting the seed in that way, or you may be using reduced tillage and minimal disturbance, and what effect that has on crop establishment, soil health, and obviously the effect on ryegrass as well. Within that, we are looking at, and it wouldn't be a Syngenta site without it, we are looking at vibrance versus another seed treatment. But using vibrance, we are looking at the benefits of that with and without latitude, because this is a second serial site now. We are still on the same site as we were the season just gone, so there is that potential of take-all, which is why you would use a latitude, or potentially use a latitude treatment on your seed. So we're looking at the establishment of that using that seed treatment, but also what effect different herbicide stacks can have on the seed. Some people are seeing that vibrant treated seed can be a more hardy crop because it establishes better, making it better to cope with a higher stack of a herbicide. Now, without me babbling on anymore, I thought I'd take you around the site, show you what sort of seed bed we've got and also the levels of ryegrass that we've got. We are seeing some levels of control, which is good. I was thinking with the levels of moisture we've had since we put the pre-emergence on, it might wash it straight through, but looks like we've had some good control. It's probably a bit too early to see which treatments are working better than others, but you can see what levels of ryegrass we've got at the minute, and yeah, and I'll see you at the end. Right then, so this is that unofficial largest herbicide screen in the UK that I was telling you about. It's replicated, as you can see, which means I'll be able to tell you significantly so at the end of the season which treatment was the best and which one wasn't. What I've done, for those who came to the site last year, again, I've got half of this first plot without any cropping at all, so you can just see what ryegrass is without that distraction of a crop. So that's that first plot. Without further ado, let me take you and show you what sort of seed we've got, seed bed. Now, it's not too bad. It's not as conventional as it was last season, but you can see that we're getting some nice germination of ryegrass. It's just coming through. Well, for me anyway, it'd be a pretty poor ryegrass site if I didn't have any ryegrass at it. So you can just see that coming through, and all that is ryegrass, none of that's crop obviously. This has got no crop in it at all. If I take you over to the other half where the crop has been drilled, you can see it's just poking its head above the ground. It's about time really. It's been over, well, what has it been, 4 weeks since it was drilled. At least it's come through and not rotted away, because that could quite easily have done with it being turning cold. Now, I thought I'd take you up to the treatment that was the best last season, which was that Liberator at 0.6 and 5 litres. And I'll take you down to the half where there's no crop, because otherwise you might think any of that green is ryegrass. So if I take you down, you can see hardly any ryegrass at all. Can't see any. So what we did to get the crop in, we attempted to put some spring tines through it, but because of the vegetation that was there was quite established, the spring tines did next to nothing. So we ended up putting some heavy discs through it, broke up that soil surface, and then ran the Vardostat drill a day later. And it went in pretty well actually. As you can see, we've attempted to get the seed in about 30 mil below the surface. We did get some on top just due to the nature of the compromised seed bed, but the majority did go under. So that'll be, so it's gone in as well as I can have hoped, given the circumstances. And as and when something of interest turns up, I will let you know. So thanks for listening, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers, thanks.